All right, all right. Well, it's been a little while since I made one of these videos. I've been busy with family stuff and all that. But, it's just about Hanukkah time here, so it's time to talk about latkes. Now, I don't want to brag or boast about my latkes, but if there's one Jewish specialty food that my family asks me to make the most often, everybody says, well, hey, have him make the latkes, have Shmuel do it. It's the latkes. That's what they ask for. So, I want to show you how I do it here. This is my own recipe, my own technique, an amalgam of different things I tried all over the years. Been doing this a lot of years now, and I'm pretty happy with how they come out. So, I want to share that with you, spread some more love in the world. So, let's just talk about some ingredients here. We got, of course, I got about 10 pounds of potatoes. I got a decent sized crowd coming tonight. So I'm doing about 10 pounds of potatoes. They're russets. You look on any online forum, almost everyone says, use russets for latkes, use russets for frying. Some people like Yukon Golds. Hey, you like that? I've done them. They don't come out bad, but I think russets probably the best. I got 4 onions over there. That's about how many onions I want, and mixed in with 10 pounds of potatoes. I put in some carrots. In mine, I like to put in, here I got 3 large carrots there. I use carrots because I like the little flecks of orange color they give, and I also like just a hint of sweetness that they add there. All-purpose flour over there in the back, and of course, you're frying, so what do you got? Peanut oil. You got to fry in peanut oil, as far as I'm concerned. I guess you could probably do a canola, but I think peanut oil is the way to go. I got 1.5 gallons here. This is probably going to last me all Hanukkah. I'm not going to use it all tonight, don't worry. And some other basic equipment. I got at my Cuisinart there. It's going to help me grate the potatoes. I got it set up with the fine grater. So when you grate your potatoes, what are you doing with a Cuisinart or you're doing with by hand with a box grater? Use the fine. Okay, use the fine setting. That's what I got set up there. I got a big colander here. I got a big mixing pot back there. It's actually a stock pot, this thing back here. That's what I'm going to mix them in. When I make big quantities of latkes, I just use my stock pot as my mixing bowl. But, you can use any big mixing bowl you like. And then, of course, I got Evan and Mr. Willard here to help us out. Uncle Manny's here. Got some kosher salt there. I think that's just about all the ingredients. Oh, the eggs. I forgot the eggs. But, yeah, I'm going to, I'll probably use 6-8 eggs here, too. Alright, so now I gotta start the labor of love, start peeling all the veggies and getting them all grated up and all that good stuff. I'll see you soon. Alright, there's 10 pounds of peeled russet potatoes. Now I'm gonna put them through my Cuisinart sitting right over here on the small fine grate attachment. So the fine grater, you put that in there. This will make quick work of the grating. You don't got one, you do it with a box grater. It's just gonna be a little bit more of a labor of love, And if you, by all means, if you got someone around, somebody in your family or friends, you're cooking around, you got someone around who can help you peel vegetables, boy, does that take somebody the time off of the labor. Not that I mind, I love it. I love it all. So my Cuisinart, I can turn it on, if I plug it in. I can turn it on. I can pull this thing out, and that's what that's for. And I can get, about, 2 or 3 small potatoes, or, maybe part of a large one in there. And that makes quick work of the potatoes. Look at that. It's starting to feel like Hanukkah already. So there's my first batch of potatoes there. I gotta empty this out now, because, there's no way I can grate all 10 pounds and fit them in here. So this is where my colander and my big mixing pot come in handy. I'm going to put all the potatoes in the colander, and that's sitting on top of this big mixing pot because I'm going to collect the juice, and you're going to see why I'm collecting the juice in just a minute. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to repeat this process with the remaining potatoes. Alright, so now that's all my potatoes. You see my colander is just about full, it's a decent sized batch here. So I'm going to now, so that the potatoes that are on the surface don't oxidize and turn brown, I'm going to cover them with a damp kitchen towel. You can use a damp paper towel if you want, when I can use something I don't throw away. I like to use something I don't got to throw away. Alright, and that'll protect most of them from getting too oxidized. And now the juice is just going to drain. You'll even hear it dripping sometimes if you're using a metal container like this. So now I got to go peel the onions and the carrots. Okay, so now there's my 4 onions, you know, my 3 carrots. They all peeled. Cut the onions in half so I can fit them in the grater in the Cuisinart here, and I'm going to grate them up on the same small size grater that I did the potatoes. Alright, so now I'm going to take the potatoes out of this pot here. It's still dripping a little bit, that's alright. Don't worry about getting too much of the water out. But you want to pour the water out gently, because if you see at the bottom there, that's potato starch, and that's going to help your latkes stick together. So you want to just pour the liquid off down the sink, but then save the starch so that you can use it when you mix up your latkes. Alright, so now my veggies is here in my big mixing pot. And one of the reasons I don't worry too much about getting all the liquid out of the potatoes or anything like that is because I got a technique for getting rid of more of it before we fry them anyway. But also, you know, the liquid from the carrots is, you know, it's got antioxidants in it. So, and so do the onions. So mixing in the potatoes with carrots and onions prevents the potatoes from browning a little bit. And once they all start soaking in all their juices together, then it's really, you know, you don't got to worry about them turning brown. If you got a really dry mix with no carrots or onions in there, your potatoes are going to turn black eventually. You know, if you give them enough time, you let them sit there. So that's one of the good things about the carrots and the onions, of course, and in addition to being delicious. So now I'm going to throw in some other ingredients. For 10 pounds of potatoes, I'm going to do about a cup of all-purpose flour. If you find that your latkes are, you know, they're not sticking together enough, add more flour. If you feel like it's too cakey or something like that, then put in less. Put in less the next time you make them. All right. We also need some salt, and I'm going to throw in about 8 eggs into this mix. It looks like it needs about 8 eggs to me. So the salt, I don't know, I'm probably doing about 2 tablespoons. Not really measuring here. Maybe a little more. There we go. Got a lot of potatoes here. And then I'm going to get 8 eggs and then crack them in there. Alright, now there's a beautiful pot, all mixed up, ready to go, of latkes mix. Yeah, now before we start frying, when I fry, I get 2 pans going at the same time. And there really isn't, you know, anything else I can do except watch the latkes once I'm doing this. So you got to get your other stuff ready before you, you know, before you start frying. So what does the other stuff mean? Well, you know, you might want to have a little drink with Mr. Willett or Evan or maybe Uncle Manny, L'chaim. Maybe you want to get your paper towels and a draining place ready, because when they come out, yeah, they're going to be a little greasy. Because hey, it's a mitzvah to have all that grease on this holiday. So get all that stuff ready, and then let's go to the pans. Let's talk about some other equipment that you're going to need to really do this right. So you're going to want two metal spatulas. I'll show you why we're going to need 2. But you want 2 that are good and flat and thin metal spatulas, you know, that you really trust. One of them is going to go in your mix, and the other one you're going to use to actually flip the latkes. You're also going to want a good stainless steel fork. Could be a regular old dinner fork, that's fine. And I already mentioned the paper towels and all that stuff. So let's put some oil in our pans over here. Alright, I got 2 cast iron pans here. As far as I'm concerned, you know, there is nothing that's better for making latkes than cast iron. And I got my jug of peanut oil here. I'm going to start pouring. You're going to say, when's he going to stop? You know, this is Hanukkah. This is the holiday of oil. I'm going to keep pouring until I got a good, you know, 1/4 inch deep layer of oil in each one of these pans. Now don't worry, if you do this right, the latkes ain't going to be that greasy. But you know, I think the best latke you possibly going to get is with what we call a shallow fry. You know, 1/4 inch deep oil. Going to get the oil now good and hot. I'm going to turn the flames on, warm these up, let them warm up several minutes before I try frying the first latke. I'm going to put my flames on medium high, and I'm just going to let them sit there, warm up, you know, good, you know, probably 5-6 minutes before I try to even fry the first latke. So, you know, we're waiting again. It's a labor of love. You know, this is what we do. We make Jewish cooking. We love this stuff, you know. We stand around here, you know. I got a little time to pontificate on the state of the world, and you know, a little time to fill up my glass. So let's. I'll come back a few minutes after we think the oil's hot. I should also say, now is the time to turn on your exhaust fan. So I'm turning my exhaust fan on. You're going to hear that in the background now. It's going to get noisy, but you know, there ain't no way to avoid that. You got to have the exhaust fan on. Well, you don't have to, but pretty much everybody going to appreciate it in your household if you keep that on. Now, you know, there's so many beautiful things about making latkes. Number one, everybody loves them. Jews, goys, everybody loves them. Your kids love them. Your parents love them. Everybody loves them. So that's number one. You're making something that everybody loves. You're going to bring some more love and joy in the world through your cooking. Number two, when you're done frying latkes, when Hanukkah's over, your cast iron is going to look more beautiful than it has ever looked in its life. And that is, you know, one of the reasons why my cast iron is seasoned so nicely is because these pans right here that I got on the stove, they've been through a bunch of Hanukkahs with me, you know, and I have made a bunch of latkes in these. And I tell you what, you know, they got a beautiful seasoning on them. And at the end of Hanukkah, it just, you know, the grease gets everywhere. It's all over every surface. It's going to be all over the stove. It's going to be all over all the surfaces of these pans here. And it's just a beautiful thing. So, you know, l'chaim mazel tov. It's a real mitzvah to do this on Hanukkah. I mean that, especially when you do it for other people. And we're going to get going here in just a minute. All right, it's been a little, you know, it's been a few minutes here. Going to give the latke mix a stir. And a lot more juice in it now, and that's totally fine. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. I'll show you why I say we need a spatula here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spatula as a way to shape and size the latkes. I'm just going to grab it by hand, and I'm going to push down. All right, and I'm going to grab some little edges there so they don't get too messy. You're going to get some little crispy bits, don't worry. Make it about 3/8 of an inch thick. All right. Now, you want a smaller or bigger, you know, you want a bigger, use a bigger spatula. You want a smaller, you just make it smaller. But I think that's a real nice sized latke right there. So, two things you get using a spatula like this. Number one, you get to shape the latke real easy. You get nice, you know, not compact, but you know, it's a good shape. Number two, you can just slide it right in. And you can see my latkes there. It's not submerged in the oil. I think you can see if I get my hand out of the way. Yeah, you can see the latke is not submerged in the oil. But it is, you know, it's sitting in a good depth of oil there. And that's what you want, because it's Hanukkah. You're making latkes here. We ain't making some low-fat dish. No. This is Hanukkah. So I'm going to get these in there. Now, they should be sizzling like that. They shouldn't be burning and browning right away. If they're burning and browning right away, then it's too hot. But they should be sizzling. The other thing you're doing on here, when you put them on the spatula, is you're squeezing out some of the liquid. And that way they're not going to be soggy when they go in the pan. So in this cast iron pan I got here, I can fit 3 latkes. And I'm going to keep on doing that with the other one. And I'll show you some other steps of the technique we use with these. So let's take a look at what's happening with these latkes here. One thing I like to do, you know, if your pan or your stove don't cook too even, once they've been in there a minute or two, you know, rotate the latke 180 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to do that with all these. If you notice that they're really falling apart, you got all kinds of little pieces floating around in the oil, that tells you that you need to put some more flour into your latke mix. Okay? You need more binding agent. Now this latke right here, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it's brown around the edges. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to flip it over just like that. You see, I don't like let it splash. I flip it over on the fork and then slide it off. Now you'll get splashed. Look at that beautiful golden brown. Look at that beautiful golden brown. It feels like Hanukkah right now. It really feels like Hanukkah. So I'm just going to keep on watching these, watching when the edges get golden brown, and I'm going to flip them. You know, really, you know, you be patient with it. As long as your flame's not on too high, they're not going to really be burning too soon. So, you know, just be patient with it. Let it get super brown all the way around all the edges. Give it a little rotation. Make sure it, you know, cooks even. And, yeah, you're well on your way. I got 7 latkes on the way here. I got a whole bunch of people coming over, so you know, you better believe you're going to be standing here at the stove doing this for quite a while. Because, you know, it's a labor of love. This one looks like it's ready to flip. Yep, that one was ready. Beautiful golden brown. This one over here might be ready. Often the first one that you put into the pan, the first one you put in, that's when it's, you know, that's when the oil is the hottest. So when you put that first one in there, you know, that's the one you want to watch and say that one's going to be done first. That's what's going to need to be flipped first. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright. So I'm well on my way here. My first 7 latkes. Things start to burn. Turn your heat down just a little bit. Things look like they're just getting greasy and they, you know, they ain't cooking too fast, you know. They're in there for minutes and they're still yellow and they're greasy. Turn it off. Now let's check and see. Now this is the first latke I put into the pans, right there. So I'm just going to lift it up, take a little peek at it. I think it's probably done. Yep. It's golden brown on the bottom. Bring it over to the side, tip it up, hold it in place, let it drain off some of the oil. Move it back there. You can see I got a cookie sheet with some paper towels on it. And that's where I'm going to drain them. I'm just going to keep on repeating that till this batch is done. Get the next batch in the pans, keep going and going and going. Alright, so a couple other bits of technique here. You may find that you're starting to, you know, lose some of your oil. So you watch the level of the oil. You know, you want the oil to be about half the depth of the thickness of the latke. So if it starts to get too low, you're going to find that they're starting to cook a little too fast around the edges and not enough in the middle. So, you know, you can bring it back up. The other thing you're going to find is that, you know, little bits of potato are going to start falling off your latkes there, and they're going to build up, and they're going to get, you know, brown on brown and start to get black, and so you're going to wind up with, you know, some little black, you know, burnt bits there in your oil, and you don't want that getting incorporated into your new latkes, but you don't want to throw the oil away either. So what I do is I strain the oil from time to time. I turn the flame down low, okay, so that the oil doesn't get overheated, and I'm just going to pour it through an all-metal strainer. And that's just going to catch all the bits. I'm pouring from one pan into the other. It's going to catch all them bits. You see that? Okay, so now I'm going to take it and I'm going to pour it the other way so that all the oil that was in this pan also gets strained. So I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to check my grip on my pan. You know, you want to be careful doing this. You don't want a grease fire. Go. Get a little workout doing this with that cast iron. So now I got most of the brown bits trapped here in my little mesh strainer. Set that aside. That's going to be real hot. You got to be careful with it. And now, you know, there's still some in there. You know, if you really don't want any in there, you know, just pour it through again and try to catch them all again. Just like Pokemon, you got to catch them all. There we go. We got even more. So now, as I'm looking at my pans here, I'm going to check the depth. Okay, so I just combined all the oil from the two pans together. So that's probably a little too much oil in this one. It was a little low before, but it's probably too much here. So I'm going to take some of that oil and pour it over the other pan. And I'm going to check my depth, make sure it looks like it's about 1/4 inch in there. It's probably pretty good. You know what? It's Hanukkah, so it's better to have too much than too little. Now this one doesn't have enough oil in it, so I'm going to add some oil to this one over here. And that means that I'm going to give it a minute or two to warm back up, because, you know, I'm not putting that much in, but, you know, I'm putting enough in. I'm lowering the temperature of it. So I'm going to give that a minute to warm up. Now, Now that I got the straining done, I'm going to turn the flames back up to where they was so that I can start cooking the next batch of latkes. So that's important technique. The other thing I'm doing here, you see the latkes back here in the very back that are draining on paper towels. I'm figuring, you know, company's going to get here in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to put these in the oven and keep them warm. And that way they're going to stay, you know, nice and warm. I've got my oven set at just 175 degrees, just warm. Not trying to cook them all. I don't want them to burn or brown, you know, no more browning or nothing. Just, you know, just want them to stay warm. Well, that's about it. You just keep on frying them. Eating good health. L'chaim. Have a happy Hanukkah. I hope you have some great latkes this year. Take care.